what's interesting with Al is, I'll call Al. I'll say, Al, I want to give you a call. He'll say, don't call too early, because I sleep in.
That's true. Senior citizen time.
That's right.
So, I say it in affection, because I want to be like Al when I grow up. All right, so we'll start with introductions. Your name, I'll call the name, what block you're on, and then we'll go with 3 things we're grateful for, and that's how we'll start this second Saturday of April. And we'll start with the Stuckies.
Okay, hi. Good morning, everyone. This block captains of Parkside 6, and 3 things. Curtis, you're pushing it to a limit with 3 things every block captain's meeting. We're running out of things. Let's not repeat the same thing.
You can repeat. That's okay, because you're still grateful for them.
Okay, no. We're gladful for spring coming. That we can get out into the yard and clean things up, and also get our vegetable garden all set for planting. And so,
Each other.
and we're thankful for each other and the community we live in.
All right, good one. And wifey, those are your 3 too, or do you want to do 3 or yourself?
Oh, we're together. We consulted before my husband spoke.
Okay. Next, we have, I got a bit of trivia for you. Did you know that Amanda Lobley went to boarding school in England?
No.
So we will let the boarding school block captain tell us 3 things she's grateful for.
Oh gosh, so Warrington Block 8. I am grateful for my missing in action partner in crime, Shirley Northcross, who can't join us because 9:30 is a bit of a push for her. I am grateful for almost spring. I was very excited, and then the hail came yesterday. Yay, Michigan. And I am grateful for my neighborhood and my family.
All right. Okay, thank you, Amanda. Next, we have Janet, who also helped me out with my email. So thank you, Janet.
You're welcome. Let me think. I too am very grateful for spring, and that the trees are starting to bud. It's a beautiful time. I think that our neighborhood is most beautiful in spring and summer, so it'll be great to be able to walk more. Grateful for my puppy, who has now become totally house trained. And so I was able to replace the carpet. And I think that I'm grateful that I've stayed healthy through this last 2.5 years.
Yes. Thank you, Doc. Next, we have Mr. Al Taylor.
Okay, I am grateful for, I'm in block 5 Fairfield, by the way, best block in the district. Also, I'm grateful for this neighborhood. Believe it or not, I'm grateful for being block club and captain and anointed for 40+ years.
Wow.
And I'm also grateful to be a great grandfather.
All right.
And my grandson keeps me up, even though he wakes me up before 9:30.
All right. Thank you, Al. And then next we have Miss Spratling, who is all the way from Boston, is participating. Cassandra. And your camera is frozen.
Frozen her code.
She could just talk.
You know what? She may be in a place where the reception. We'll skip Cassandra and come back to her when her tile unfreezes. Next, we have Attorney Charlene Snow.
Hello, I'm block captain in Birchcrest 3. And like almost everyone else, I'm very grateful that spring is coming. and that the weather will be getting warmer and we won't have ice on the roads or the sidewalks. And grateful for living in a very nice neighborhood.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Charlene. Next, we have Tamara Perrin.
Good morning. I'm Black Captain Parkside 1, and I am grateful for life, say quality of life, quality of community, and also quality of health.
Yes, good one. Thank you, Tamara.
You're welcome.
Next, we have one of the most busiest people I know who serves on so many boards and organizations. When normally Saturday, I think you used to go to you had a meeting right after the
sorority meeting, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
after this.
That's right. So Stacia.
Yes.
Stacia.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am just so grateful to be alive. My husband and I are healthy. We have survived with no incident of being sick. I am recovering timely from my second knee surgery and hope to be out here in the spring. I'm not much of a gardener, but I want to be walking and enjoying this beautiful neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, Stacia. I'm glad to hear you're recovering from your surgeries. Okay, so next we have, you know what, Mary Jo, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll go with Mary Jo, who keeps us informed and safe. 3 things you're grateful for, Mary Jo.
Well, I've been sitting here listening to the list, and so far I agree with everybody with the possible exception of one of Al Taylor's gratitudes. I'm not sure he has the best block in the neighborhood, but I'll let him persist in that. In addition to all those things, 3 people close to me had major crises this week, and every single one of them made it through and is fine.
Yay.
Just thrilled.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so next we got two people, I think. One is Eric's iPhone. Not sure who that is.
That would be Eric.
Oh, okay. Eric Childress. Eric has the coolest email. It's eChill. So go ahead, Eric.
Hello, everyone. I am grateful for, first of all, life, health, and family. If I can add a fourth, I'm grateful for University District. I really love it here. I'm proud of our neighborhood, and I'm proud of all of you guys. I am standing in awe every time at how much everyone loves their neighborhood and where they live at. And I've never seen that any place I've been in the city before.
Yes.
All right. That's a good one. Thank you. All right. I think we had Leslie, but phone, but the tile is gone. So I will go next. And I was hoping that we would get Miss Odell Bridges on, who was having the technical difficulties, but I don't see her, so she may have given up. I would say the 3 things are certainly I'm grateful to be a part of a block captain group and have such great folks who participate as block captains. So thank you for that. I'm grateful for that, rather. The other thing is I'm grateful. I had a buddy of mine who was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. And this is kind of cool because he asked me if I knew anybody from a spiritual perspective. And I don't know if you all know Marco Bryant, who lives on Wildermere. He's a buddy of mine. We used to play basketball, but he also is a reverend. And so I suggested, my buddy who lives on Wildermere in University District. And so they hit it off real good. My buddy actually joined this church, which is called Davison Baptist church on Dakota and John R. So not far from us.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right there. And so he went and got baptized like March 6th or something, first Sunday in March, I think. And then he went to the doctor's office about 3 weeks ago, and his cancer has been healed.
Amen.
So I was like, wow. Yeah, so he's cancer free now. And that's what I'm grateful for my buddy, Josh. And then the other thing I'm grateful for is, you know, is certainly the community we live in, because it's a common response that we got from the block captains, and I certainly concur. And I just put it in comparison to what's going on in Ukraine and how they had very nice neighborhoods, and all of a sudden we had the you know, the hostilities going on. So it really gives us pause to be grateful that we don't have any of those external forces causing such pain and chaos. So Cassandra Spratling are you there, Cassandra?
I am back, but please go on. Apparently this computer I'm on is having issues. So I'm just grateful to be here for whatever time I can be here. How about that?
Okay, we're grateful to have you. So,
Excuse me.
so okay, so that's how we started the meeting off. It's going to be a light agenda, and we're going to have Mary Jo is going to give an update on what's going on in security. And then also, as a block captain, after Mary Jo completes her presentation, I'd like to, a block captain came to me with a concern about kind of people, auto repair shop going on in someone's backyard. It's a nuisance. And we'd just like to get some feedback from block captains about some ideas. And it's also a delicate situation because the neighbor is just concerned about retaliation. So we can talk about that after Mary Jo shares with us some news about what's going on with security.
All right. We're in a very fortunate position. For many months, every time I go to the regular meeting with the police department that acquaints us with crime in the neighborhood, our map is basically bare. We've had a few instances of people messing with cars. I think one burglary in the last 4 months was reported to the police department, so really, really low. And that has been really good. We've had a couple of weird incidents. There's somebody who grew up on Warrington who has mental health issues, who periodically comes back and challenges people based on who lived in the house when he was there. But the block has pulled together pretty well, and they're handling that. And police department and various other agencies in the family and so forth have all been in on it. So that appears to be under control. Every so often we'll get a call from somebody who sees something suspicious. And right now, Radio Patrol is not doing too much patrolling because we still have lots of people at high risk who really aren't ready to be in a car for hours with somebody that they don't live with. But we're keeping an eye out on our blocks and so forth. Not particularly security related, but in terms of a neighborhood update, longtime block captain John Hooper, Quincy 2, died about 10 days ago. There will be services in May. He had been in declining health the last couple of years, and he had a bad fall and didn't recover from it. But he's been a great neighbor and a big support for lots of us. The only other thing that I would mention at this point, and it's kind of early to say whether or not we've got a real challenge here. There's been lots of discussion about what's happening with gas prices. And a couple of the TV stations have reported that some enterprising crews are going to car dealerships and gas stations and starting to hit the neighborhoods to steal gas out of people's cars. They both drill tanks and empty the gas from the gas tank, and they siphon it out of gas caps. So that fits right, the recommendation fits right in with our usual. If you can avoid parking on the street, avoid parking on the street. Keep your gas cap covered. You might want to think about a locking cap if you don't have some other protection. There's not much you can do about the ones that go under the car to drain the gas tank, but we can kind of keep an eye out for that. My next meeting with the police department will be next Friday, and if there's anything more to report on that, I will let Curtis know and he can email everybody. That's about it. We're very fortunate with things being quiet. Any questions?
Mary Jo, do we have
Yes.
a new community police officer?
Yes, we do. Her name is, they've given me her first name wrong 2 different times. It starts with an L, Powell. She hasn't been officially assigned yet, but they know sooner or later it's going to take place. They're working on the practice that they did with our last swap of keeping the same cell phone number for RNPO. So that looks like that's going to be a possibility when it's official. In the meantime, if anybody needs any NPO service, you can always call the precinct community relations office. Sometimes they call it the NPO office. Sergeant Bledsoe, 596-1221. And somebody in that unit will see what they can do to address any issues that we have.
What's that number again, please, Mary Jo?
596-1221.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Appreciate that.
Quite welcome.
Okay. You know what? There's one, Eric. Before I go into the illegal repair shop, you know what? I know we were going to talk about membership and how block captains can support. If you're there.
Yes, I'm here.
And what can block captains do to support the membership committee?
I know that we're still dealing with pandemic issues, although it's receded somewhat and then it'll go back up again. But our main thrust is that we have to basically have some boots on the ground.
Okay.
You have the tags for your signs, and if you need a new sign, just let us know and we'll get you a new sign as well. But the refrigerator magnets, we need to get them out to you. My apologies for not being very timely with that, but it's been a challenging year. But as soon as we can do that, ready, all we have to do is just distribute to those who are willing to put boots to the ground and get them, just drop them at the door or whatever. We have nice little packages that we put it in so that it's simple and easy to drop off a tag and a magnet.
Okay. And you'll let me know which blocks need support, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. So next we're going to go into this issue of a resident whose neighbor is operating a unsightly automobile repair operation with engines on the driveway and cars taken apart. And so I'm going to defer to this esteemed group to offer any kind of suggestions that I can share with that resident and that resident's block captain.
May I chip in?
Yes.
We've had some instances in the neighborhood with this kind of thing previously and with some other associated issues. And the first call I would make in a situation like that would be to building and safety, because they deal with a surprising number of issues like that. And the recent calls that I've made to them, I have been just blown away with their response. The last call I made, I called at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they were out making a house call by 4 o'clock that afternoon. And they can't always do it that fast. I was prepared, this week would be good. And it was the same day, and they were very good talking with the people, and it was resolved. If the neighbors are concerned about retaliation, they might want to talk to, say, the UDCA board, which could make a complaint. And
good point.
there are ways so that that person can say, I didn't call the city on you, and be absolutely truthful. So those are a couple of things that might be useful.
Mary Jo, if you don't have it now, maybe you can give me the person is there a person you dealt with at BS&E?
I think they divide up different sections and different areas of responsibility. So I just made a cold call and they took care of it.
Okay.
So I'd like to ask, so what part of our residential standards, is that a standard or a city ordinance where it states that you can't do that in this, have that type of small business in this residential area?
I believe it's city ordinance that you can't run a repair shop in your yard.
Okay, so if I think,
That's
okay, based
correct.
on that, I think that information should be provided to the board as well as the residential standards. That way it comes as a community stating and informing the person that it's not just us in the community, but it's also ordinance from building and safety, and give them the code and et cetera. Therefore, they become aware of it.
Are they doing it as a business or just the repairing their own cars?
That's what I was gonna ask too. It may be a possibility, just car repair.
I'll have to find out and see if but even if it's your own cars, it's still kind of ugly.
Well, but Mary Jo said that you cannot run a repair business.
That's
Yeah, but
different.
that's different.
That's different.
So,
But what about if
They
it's
reported on the improved Detroit as abandoned cars? Or
but it's
because
not
of
on,
their property line, does that not?
I think if it's on your own property.
and then maybe there should be something of saying how far, I think this community under that residential standards needs to put some kind of parameters that when it starts to contribute to blight or unsightliness within our community, those are things that bring down the property values and attract, theft and other types of negative behavior.
Right. I had an abandoned car in front of my house and it was towed away. By the police department.
But see, what you're saying is abandoned, and obviously these cars aren't abandoned, they're.
No, but I agree with what you were saying though. That's what I'm saying. It is a blight to have that stuff. I agree with you.
And I guess what I'm saying is that I look at as we have a committee.
Mm-hmm.
And those are certain things that need to be on the books in writing in that committee as part of a standard for this community.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's the voice of all of us rather than just a neighbor or somebody in that block.
The trouble with the standards is they're not enforceable. The city ordinances are enforceable. They're not.
I'll put it like this. That's why, we have to connect the dots. And it may not be enforceable as a standard, but it becomes a nuisance. So what do we define as a nuisance? And therefore you can pass it to the next level, which is the city building and safety. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I agree with that part.
And where is this at?
Pardon me?
Where is Curtis? Where is this at? This
It's
problem?
on I think it's on Fairfield.
Where? Middle, the end, what, where?
You know what? I gotta defer to my notes.
Okay.
In the middle, I believe, but I gotta go back to look at my notes.
Let me ask another thing in the same regards with a different float. On Fairfield 5, we have a house that's, I'm gonna call it abandoned. I don't know what the hell the house is doing. Nobody's in it. There was a squatter in it. The squatter is gone. We thought the squatter moved out, but we didn't realize that you do different things at midnight. Stole the air conditioner, stole some other stuff out of it. And you talk about blight. We called a real estate company before to get some information on it. And they kind of shaky. They wouldn't give us anything. What can be done with something like that? You don't want them to set it on fire.
All the NPOs.
NPO, thank you. Okay.
Also, I'll give you an example. When the house burned down next to us, like several years ago, property owners took the insurance settlement, didn't want to fix it up, and so they left it, okay? And so I called building safety and got it deemed as a blight property. And then when deemed as a blight property, then the land bank could come in and purchase that property, and then therefore it was demolished and we got the property, okay? It's the same, another neighbor, Selma Groggins called me. There was a house on her street that elderly couple owned. It burned a number of years ago, has a blue tarp over the top of it. And I think the man passed away, and she's in a nursing. And so one of the neighbors wanted to know how to handle that. And I told her the same thing, call building and safety, have them deem it as a blight property, then they can do something. Okay, the city can do something about it, right? That's the process.
That's a good option. That's a good option because the house is in basically good shape right now.
Yes. If I could just backtrack to what we were speaking about prior to this, in regards to the neighbor with the car repair.
Okay.
If we associate a fine and a city ordinance with leaving our trash cans out too long, surely I believe that we can find that there must be on the books a fine that can be associated with running a mechanic shop in the university district. There's got to be something where an individual can have something where they could possibly be fined for their activities. And the best way to get someone's attention is when you hit their pocket.
Actually, the city have an executive order addressing this directly, Curtis. It's called Executive Order 2021-01. I just Googled it. And it addresses specifically the increase in the establishment of junkyard, scrapyard, minor and major motor vehicle repair shops.
Okay, no, that's very helpful. And that coupled with that information you shared with what Mary Jo talked about, BS&E, I think that's going to be helpful. And I will share that information and, get the address, and I may make the call too.
Curtis, also another suggestion, why don't somebody contact our council person?
Right, the one who came last time.
Right.
You know what?
Sandra, what's her name?
Yeah, Miss
Callaway.
Hollowell, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
she was,
Callaway?
Callaway.
right, she was so interested in how good we were, she could follow.
You know what I might do?
But she may assign that to either Kim Tandy or Sean Davis, because they're.
So what I'll do is I'll let the process work. If we get if we get some folks who don't respond timely, then I'll defer to her. But I'll let the city departments whose job it is to assist citizens with these kind of issues.
I wouldn't.
I'll give them a shot the way Mary Jo did, and using Amanda's information. And then the council member that represents us can be our fallback. But no, this has been very good information. We have two people who joined, Leslie and Odell Bridges.
Curtis, do you want her email address or do you have it?
The city council person?
Yeah.
I have it. Thanks, Amanda. I got it. Let's see, there's something in the chat. Okay, good information. Thanks, Charlene. So Odell and Leslie, are you there, Leslie? She may be, Ms. Bridges?
I'm here.
Oh, Leslie, real
Yes.
quick, we opened up with the, from a standing position of gratitude. 3 things you're grateful for.
3 things I'm grateful for. Wow, there's so much. I am grateful for springtime, which I think might be coming. I am also super grateful for my wonderful husband and 2 dogs, and for my mom and stepdad who just returned from overseas.
Awesome. And Leslie is the block captain that took over for Ms. Dean, right? For LaDonna?
Yes, I have some very, very big shoes to fill. So any help would be appreciated.
And that's Maryland 5?
We're block 6.
Block 6.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Leslie.
No
And
problem.
we miss Michael on the UDCA board.
Oh, I'll let him know.
And then we have Ms. Odell Bridges.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting onto this
Well,
the Zoom meeting. Each time I try, it's just getting harder and harder. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, I just wanted to catch up on what was said earlier in the meeting, if it's okay, because I know you don't send out notes.
no, I've actually taped this one, so I can send out the recording.
Oh, I see the recording thing on my screen. I didn't know.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That's
Well,
good.
since we have you on audio, 3 things you're grateful for, Ms. Bridges.
I'm just grateful to be here today.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
No, we got some good information about somebody's doing some repair of cars in their yard, and it's very unsightly for the neighbors around. Not too much you can see it from the street, but certainly the little neighbors around can see it. And there were some concerns about that. Did any block captains have any other items they want to share?
Yes.
Amanda?
I did.
Not, so there's a Belden Park cleanup tomorrow. I don't know if you lot have seen that.
It's on Belden cleanup?
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I really didn't dive deep into it.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to go down 6 Mile in Belden, there's just the little park that's got all the fruit trees in it. Just needs a bit of a spring cleanup. I will not be going because I also had knee surgery, so I am stuck on my couch. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
They would be happy for people to turn up if anyone is.
What time? Do you know what time it is on Sunday?
10.
10 on Sunday?
Yes.
This is Palm Sunday, right?
No, that's no.
Isn't Easter a week from tomorrow?
I think this is Palm Sunday. Chris.
It is.
I thought Palm Sunday was in May, but I'm not religious, so I don't.
It's the week before Easter.
I think it is, Curtis. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, a lot of folks are doing online. But anyway, okay. And I know, Mr. Stuckey, you had a.
Yes. Well, let neighbors know, there's a lot of times in the spring, there's sometimes a couple of men go around, not the same one. I try to do tuck pointing and some, cement work, but they just drive up in a truck. They have a bucket in the back, and they try to get homeowners. They look at their porch and say, you need this, this, and this. And so I'll tell you what the problem with that is in a second, but my neighbor down the street, I saw them in front of his house, and I tried to warn him about them. They come every year, and sometimes they're out of state. Anyways, he told me that he spent like $700 to have some tuck pointing done, and they did a lousy job. And also what they try to do is they try to, if your porch, like cement porch is a little thinning than that, they'll try to put a coating over the top of it. Anyways, It's a scam, not a scam, but it's just poor workmanship. You cannot put cement over cement, okay, unless you use a binding.
Right.
And so beware of these people. They'll come up and they'll say, I know your neighbor and I knew you from years ago, and it's just a ripoff, put it that way, okay? If you're gonna get some work, get it done by a professional who have references, is bonded and insured, and not these people that come around and do this really sloppy work, terrible work. And the trouble is, it only lasts for a year, but it'll all pop out again, okay? This is
That
not
makes
done.
sense.
Yeah, okay, just be aware of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Curtis,
I can't mention.
I
that.
had, oh, are you finished? I'm sorry.
But you can hear you, so that's okay. We're done, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to share that our block lost Charles Batt. He's a neighbor, longtime neighbor. He passed a few weeks ago, and his celebration of life was last week. And his wife had another service in, I believe, Arkansas. So he was very instrumental, I believe, when we were talking about the trying to think with the assessment. And that's when Luke was president of the association, and he did give some insightful information. Charles was so quiet. I was shocked when I saw how well he wrote and how verbal he was, because he was just a nice, low-key kind of guy. So I was kind of shocked when I saw the article where he had spoke out about that assessment in support of it, I believe. But nevertheless, it leaves a widower on the block, and I don't know how much longer she's going to stay, because she had spoke about moving, the both of them moving, because the house is getting too big. So I went, and the neighbor next door, Tim, he went. So it was a nice service.
Okay.
Curtis,
But he had cancer, and it took him very quickly.
Yeah, Ed?
Yeah, two more quick things. Let you know, Jesu is celebrating its 100th year anniversary this year. And also talk about property values. The house across the street have new neighbors, and the house sold for $430,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Ed, are you a member at Jesu?
Yes.
Like the parish? Are
Yes.
you not? You're getting a new vicar priest,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yes, yes. They're consolidating some of the parishes,
Is that going to enable us to use their facilities again?
Not necessarily. I don't know that. We don't
We
know.
hope so.
Yeah, we have several block captains that are members of the parish. I'm thinking of Kathy Lee and Herman in particular, and some others who, and also Tamara Perrin, who strongly advocate that Jesu kind of go back to its community involvement and participation and sharing of resources. So that may happen. We do have some advocates at the parish membership level who stress the importance of Jesu going back to being a part of the lives of the residents. So Cecilia, thank you. I know a parent wants to say a couple things. I do want to say, Cecilia, that you talked up Luke, because Luke, our former UDCA president and long-term block captain and membership chair, is on. And Luke, real quick, we were starting the position with the day off with gratitude, 3 things we're grateful for. And one of them can't be that Luke beat me in the NC2A, Final Four brackets. And because of Luke, I lost $800, but I'm not gonna go there.
Wow.
So
Kansas. I'm thankful for Kansas. How about that?
$800 was the kitty. It was a bunch of guys. We all put in $100, and Luke won. And my team was up by 20 points, I think, at halftime. And I started planning what I was going to do with that money. So anyway, the greatest comeback in the history of NC2A championships. But you're not grateful for that. So what other three things are you grateful for, Luke?
I'm grateful that I just signed up for, believe it or not, Medicare. And I'm in good health, so it's not going to cost me that much. So I'm grateful for my health and my family's health. That's a good one. That's it. You know, health as well.
There's three other of y'all. That's three of them.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you, Luke. Tamara.
Okay, I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to say, I do want to talk about four things, but I need to add a fifth. And I hope that those of you that are seniors are looking at our senior initiative on our website. And they would love for you to give feedback regarding the information that's posted on a monthly basis. Okay, that being said, the next thing I'd like to talk about is our litter patrol. You know, when Frank Benedict, he retired, is no longer with us. And I had taken up Shirley Norcroft and myself, we had taken up, she was going to do the north side and I was going to do the south side for the litter patrol on 6 Mile. But unfortunately, I've had some challenges and other responsibilities of other adult people where I have not been able to do that. But we still need people to assist with picking up litter along that 6 Mile strip. So that 6 and 7. So I want to make that,
I can help.
throw that out there to the block captains if people can assist or rotate and help with that responsibility. The other thing is when we were first talking, I was listening to, I think Amanda and maybe Charlene, I forget, but talking about the things that are happening in our neighborhood. And so I was thinking it'd be nice if we had something where we would post, contribute information under the title of neighborly blessings, not necessarily to name the person, but to name the block and to say some of the things that neighbors are doing to help each other so that it sends a broader message to people in the community and other neighborhoods and associations that what we do as neighbors to be neighborly. I myself have been blessed with a couple of neighbors because I've had so many things on my plate last year that they cut my grass and helped with me taking out my trash, etc. And as a senior, I'm very healthy, but I was so challenged with a lot of things mentally and time restriction that I wasn't able to do these things. So that was a blessing to me as a neighbor. The other thing is, now this relates to something that Ed was saying, and I'd like to have it under the title of This Old House. When I moved in this community over 40 years ago, there used to be a list that they posted of people who had done different types of work. And because I am a carpenter and interior design advocate, you know, doing these things, I think we should have something also called This Old House, and through our block captains, that we assist each other or share information about people who have done quality work for us. Just like you talked about, like I think Eric talked about the gen rack, the generator, et cetera. We should share this information so that we're still keeping our historic area and enabling our homeowners to make the necessary changes or updates or renovations by sharing this list. And that can go from electrical, plumbing, carpentry, masonry, etc. Outdoor curb appeal, those types of things. And then the last thing that I'm going to state has to do with, I call it IEYECU. And the reason I state this because I have for many times been an advocate of us getting cameras and It has been a monetary economic restraint or problem for us or challenge. So just driving through, I like to cruise through some neighborhoods to see, you know, what are they doing, et cetera. And of course, you know, I'm a big advocate of the home tours all over the city and all over, say, metropolitan Detroit area. So I was coming through Sherwood Forest, and I saw something that is very unique. And I thought, wow, that's affordable. It's unique. It's almost, you wouldn't even pay attention to it. But you know, we have some areas where we have the street signs that are tall, don't park on this side of the street, etc. This person has I think it's a 4x4. And on either side, it's tall. It's about maybe 7 or 8 feet tall. And they have a camera on it. And I thought, how wise, because now they can see from the north and the south, people is, you know, anyone that's walking through the neighborhood or either driving, you know, and I thought that's affordable and that's something we can do. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm going to think about doing that as well. So, because safety it's so important, and because of now, say, the gas prices and people coming in, I found that some people ride through our neighborhood or come at different hours when they know that people are working, et cetera, or maybe sleep and canvas to come back and do harm later. So I think for people that say, like, I can't see on either side of me, but the neighbor across the street can see, you know, what's going on either side of my house. These are things that we could put in place if we have cameras or the Ring doorbell. I keep mine on my fence, my backyard fence, so I can see because I have that other lot. And that makes it, well, you know, for me, I can see people walking across, et cetera. So that's another thing that I thought we could do as far as improving security within our area. And with that, I'm done.
You know, though, it's actually really pricey to get a camera that would pick up the kind of detail that you want. You can just put any old camera on a stick. But if you're wanting to get a camera that's going to pick up face details, number plates, it isn't as straightforward as that. Because, you know, we had all those car crimes last year. So we had like 6 state vehicles hit within a 3 or 4 month period. And our cameras, my husband's a nerd. Our cameras are better than most and still couldn't get anything useful that could be used to stop the people.
Well,
just FYI.
I was thinking too that they had something when they start with that park over there in Belden with cameras, and people were trying to steal those cameras. And don't you have to talk to someone at the city council or someone in order to install something like that in the neighborhood? And then too, what you're talking about, people with blessings, and there was something else that you had mentioned about workers for these old homes. That information at one time was printed in the newsletter. So that should be something that maybe we can put that in when we have our newsletter. And they had a lot of people, workers that neighbors have referred to other neighbors regarding, you know, workers who could do, they were reliable people who could do work in the area. So I think that should come from community, you know, you could put that in the newsletter, because our newsletter hasn't had some articles like that in the, you know, recently.
Well, the reason I said online, Odell, is because sometimes we might misplace our newsletter, and that way when we need it, we can reference it easier. And then sometimes it's easier for them to update it as well. And because I noticed some people now are putting up handrails on their stairs because of the aging, or say the knee or mobility problems. And some of them look very attractive. But as we age, and I know that it is an initiative within the city and with area agencies for due to mental health reasons and emotional health, they're trying to get seniors to age in place. And so these are things that we are trying to do to help people to stay within their homes. And if they do have to sell, their homes are still up to, let's say, that quality or standard and maintenance where they can get what they want for it. But I do recommend that we have something online as well.
I wonder if there's a liability issue to that.
We can put a disclaimer that even though we may post this information, that we accept no liability. We're just sharing information. It is up to the person for them to do their due diligence regarding whether they employ the services of whichever vendor or handyman, contractor, whatever.
But you should also, if you're going to get a vendor, like I said before, you should always make sure they're bonded and insured. That
Right.
results in
That's
liability.
right.
Okay.
Okay, and the other thing I wanted to mention with respect to those lists, it doesn't have to be online or in the paper. Number one, some people may go online. You might not believe it, but it's the truth. Not everybody will have a computer. So I think that the
That's
thing
true.
that monthly or by whatever it comes out, put them in the paper, let people actually have that. And online, so you can have it in both kinds of places. The other thing is it might make then the community paper have more information versus just ads. Not that ads aren't fine, and I'm sure they're wonderful, but I'd like to be able to see more things about the community that we could usually have as services. So both
Yeah.
places.
I'm just looking through the magazine. There is actually one page of ads. The rest is all about the community. Just for your notification.
That's excellent that that's happening. What I'm saying is that you could do things additionally that could be informative and that even might be repeated in particular editions. For example, where they had before the people who are on the board and how you could contact them because people can use that. So that's a really good thing to actually have. And I think isn't it quarterly, the booklet that we get. So people keep that actually. And so that's helpful information, just as a listing of services that people might use regularly could be also.
Okay, good, all good positions. I'm taking notes and I'm going to follow up with the newsletter committee to make some recommendations and also to see how we could have our website be a place for information. There was a good message in the chat box that said Next Detroit, to some degrees, does that also.
I think she
Next
said
door.
next
Next door.
door.
I'm sorry. I do want to comment for Tamara. So, you know, Tamara is a carpenter, and one time she asked me to come over to help with something, and I went, but I refused to help her because Tamara wanted me to hold the ladder while she climbed up to her third floor chimney to spray some of that liquid tar out of a can to fix a small leak on the base of her chimney and roof. Ooh. So I refused to hold the ladder. Instead, I went up the ladder and she held it for me. But I would have not let you go on
I was too old.
Third floor, like 45 feet up, leaning over. So Tamara, I'm glad I was there to stop you.
I have a question while we're talking about repairs. I'm having a problem with my printer and I've gone, does anyone know of company that repairs printers or where I can take it to have them look at it? I've tried to follow the instructions of correcting, it's my carriage, it keeps jamming and I followed the instructions of what they're telling me, the illustrations and demonstrations, and it's still now, it keeps, the cartridge keeps jamming. So does anyone know of?
Have you contacted the manufacturer?
HP, I did, and they want a technician, but they wanted my credit card information, and I don't like to give out my credit card information to someone that I don't know about.
So you may want to contact Office Depot.
Wait, Luke said he can help you with the printer.
Great. See, resolve.
Yeah. I would also say that you know what, Miss Odell, generally with printers and stuff,
Yes.
You just get a new one. They don't even fix them.
Yep.
That's fine.
It's just that the cartridge is jamming and they think they can do it. So I just wanted to, before I do that, I wanted to, I can invest in a new one, but I wanted to know if I could correct it first.
How old is the printer?
It's a minimum of 16 years old.
Oh my God.
Girl.
Oh, damn.
Pardon?
He's trying to say it's a dinosaur.
No, I rarely use it, so
That's
I
the
know
problem. They dry out.
I'll just share this,
Oh,
Odell.
well, they want
Miss
you to
Odell.
upgrade.
Printer.
Yeah, the new printers are a lot less
Sometimes it
expensive.
can be one little piece of paper that's stuck, one little,
Oh, I know how to correct a paper jam and all of that, but
Okay, you know what?
It
Hey,
could
Miss
just be
Odell.
the heads on the
Yeah.
on the printer that need to be cleaned.
No, what
I
happens
think
is,
that's what they're trying to do. And I just wanted to know if something could be done before I invest in a new one. That's all. I don't mind doing that, but I wanted to use all my options before I got a new printer.
so my recommendation is, Miss Odell, is that Epson has a new printer out, and I just learned this because I had the same issue. It uses a liquid.
I saw
ink.
that on TV.
It
I
uses
saw that commercial.
well, this one is it's a different type of technology. It doesn't use a cartridge, which is dry ink.
Right.
But this one
Right.
actually uses a real liquid, and they won't never dry out.
We have,
But it's jamming. The cartridges are jamming. It's not that it's not printing or anything. It's just jamming. When I
mechanical.
use the whip. Pardon?
No, it's
Pardon?
mechanical is your problem, not the print, not the ink, the cartridge drying up. Okay, you have a mechanical problem in there that have to be mechanically fixed. And like,
Right.
it's not, Odell, it's not really worth some coming out and fixing
That's
some,
right.
and you pay more for that than we do for a new printer.
Really? Okay.
Prices
Okay,
are
I
coming
just
down.
wanted some advice or see if it could be handled before I invested into a new one. Okay.
How much is a new one?
And Curtis, I have one of those Epson printers with the
liquid.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost?
I saw it I actually bought one for my mother for $1.99.
Right, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
it's worth it though. It's so much easier to use, and ink lasts much longer too. Okay, than the cartridge. Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Then the dry ink, right? Inkjet, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. Was there anything else from this great group of individuals of like-mindedness who love this neighborhood?
So you lot probably have nicer house than I have. I have like 0 historic characteristics left in my property thanks to the previous developer. However, do you all know that we are doing the home tour this year?
Yes.
And they're looking for houses if any of you lot have the inclination.
We've done that before.
Nope.
Did anyone talk about the special assessment district, how that's going? No one has heard about that?
Sid is normally our liaison with that.
Right.
Man, he normally participates unless he has, I guess, a conflict.
May I?
Mary Jo.
May I comment?
Oh, yes, Mary Jo, please.
We have sent petitions into the city and we're waiting to see whether or not they're approving them. And the latest thing has been agitating to get an answer. So we're kind of on hold at the moment.
Thanks, Mary Jo.
Welcome.
Thanks, Mary Jo. Okay, well, hey, it's the second Saturday, of April, and I have enjoyed all 1 hour and 40 minutes. No, less than that. 70 minutes with this great group of folks. And thank you for sharing. I will follow. I got my notes and I'm going to share, I'm going to follow up with the newsletter committees about some articles, as well as what Tamara had mentioned on some ideas on how to keep a discussion going, as well as Mary Jo, thank you for the feedback, and Amanda on what can happen for this neighbor in terms of some approaches of bringing outside entities in to kind of address what she has to look at, which is just very unsightly. So if there's no other questions from this group of block captains, I will conclude the meeting. And again, I thank all of you for your participation. And hopefully soon we'll be able to gather in person.
Right.
Yep.
At Al's house.
Oh, I heard that.
I had to wake him up.
Have a blessed week and weekend.
Yes. And thank you, Tamara, and everybody else.
Blessings to you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, be
Alright.
safe.
Bye-bye. It's been a great meeting.
Everyone, nice to
Bye-bye.
see you all.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Curtis. Take care.
Yeah, be
Bye-bye.
blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.